Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times, yes, to discuss books and horror, but today we're doing it with a little bit of a twist. I'm here to bring you a book called Barbie, but make it horror.
It's coffee time.
Let's face it, we've all felt the hype of Barbie, and after watching the movie, I can tell you the hype was worth it. I really enjoyed the movie, and I thought I could recommend you guys books that kind of fit the similar vibe of Barbie, not just on aesthetics but also kind of with the themes, and choose for that some kind of horror books. So this is what we're gonna do today: books that Barbie might enjoy or books that I feel like fit the movie themed and the visuals. While I was doing my research, I did find the Barbie and the Book Club series, and it was books published back in the 90s by different authors, and I did find some that were a little bit more spooky, and I love the covers so much that now I kind of want to go back and purchase all of these books. You can probably find them somewhere on eBay, but only mostly in America, so with the shipping it's gonna be too much for me, but I wish I could get my hands on these books. The new Barbie movie, directed by Greta Gerwig and starring Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie as, you know, the stars of the movie Barbie and Ken, is a movie that was highly anticipated. We were being teased with the visuals already for a long time, and I have to admit I was really excited. Writer and director Greta Gerwig said that the movie was slightly inspired by Reviving Olivia, which is a book that her mom took home from the library. Sometimes her mom would bring home books from the library and she would browse through them. The book focuses on teenagers and how they are so happy and fun in themselves, and then they reach puberty, and then they start getting all of these, you know, like they start to getting really self-conscious. They lose a little bit that confidence that they had, and they start looking more into their body and the way they look and body dysmorphia and all of that. And I thought that was a really interesting take to bring to Barbie, because it is true that most kids, when they are young, they just accept who they are and they have fun, but then they reach those teenage years, they reach puberty, and then they immediately start feeling that they are not good enough. If you're interested to discover more about where Barbie comes from and her creator, Ruth, there is a book called Barbie and Ruth where they go a little bit more into detail on how this doll came to be. It is a biography by Robin Gerber, and basically, I mean, the short story is that when Ruth was traveling through Germany, she found a doll that was more like stylized and more like an adult woman, and not like the typical dolls kids were getting back in the day, which were just babies that would wet their diapers and stuff like that, babies you had to take care of. There was no doll that was like a real woman, and she got that inspiration and decided to create Barbie and named the doll after her daughter Barbara. And today I'm here to bring you 10 recommendations of horror books that you can check out if you love Barbie, the Barbie aesthetic, if you're looking for something a little bit more like Barbie but with some horror, some mystery thriller in it, because we love that thrill, we love that horror in our books. So I hope that you guys enjoy, and let's dive into the recommendations. This Barbie is a trip. We have here Weird Barbie. That's how I decided to call it, because this book is weird and quirky. It is called A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan, and this is contemporary horror fiction. This is a thrilling satire about influencers. We have Remy and Alicia. They are in their 30s and they are in one of those service jobs that they don't particularly love, and they're really jealous about Jen. They're both obsessed with Jen because she used to work with them, but now she has all of these deals and all of this success in her social media, and they are very jealous of her. So they meet her one day in the street, and Jen offers them to come to a boat trip to, you know, reconnect and everything, and they decide to agree and go. But when they are in this boat trip, things are not gonna go the way that they expected, and that's when the book starts to get really weird, and it's not gonna be a book for everybody. I feel like this is more for people that love quirky and weird horror fiction more than anything. But the book does touch on toxic relationships and vulnerability of our characters and that jealousy over Jen and social media, and that is what I think that it would be perfect for some of the themes that you can expect in Barbie. And also many people can relate to unhealthy relationships. Doesn't matter if it's like love relationships, there are also friendships that can be quite toxic. This Barbie is a hunter. We have here a killer Barbie, and for this I have chosen a paranormal book series. The series is called Barbie the Vampire Hunter, and the first book is called Rest in Pieces and is by Lucinda Dark. And this Barbie is not playing games. She's out for revenge because a vampire has killed her family. Barbie never believed in vampires, even though her parents told her about the existence of vampires, but that is until the night where her whole family was killed by vampires that entered their home. There was a home invasion, vampires killed their family, and Barbie is the only one that managed to get out and survive. Trained by her parents, now she is really hungry for revenge. However, she has to wait until she reaches the age of 18 because for now she is stuck living with her godparents until she comes of age, and then she is determined to find the vampires that killed her parents and get revenge, but also probably kill any other vampires that come across her. This Barbie is fabulous. We have here perfect Barbie because the next book is based on a picture-perfect world like Barbie world, and we have The Stepford Wives by Ira Levin, and this is quite an older book, but this is horror fiction and it is a classic. I'm pretty sure you guys probably have seen the couple of movie adaptations that the book has had. We follow Joanna, her husband Walter, and the kids as they move to a picture-perfect neighborhood called Stepford, and everything just looks good. People are so friendly, and like always, you know, everything is maybe too good to be true. This is a book with psychological suspense, and it has also a commentary on media-driven society and about perfection and the dark secrets that this little town has in order to achieve that perfection. I think, you know, if you've watched the movies and you've enjoyed them, then give the book a try. If you've tried the book but it was maybe too dry or too, you know, something that was not really down your alley, maybe give the movies a chance because I do feel like the story is worth it. This Barbie is a fighter. We have a traveling Barbie because our next character is going to be on the run. We have When She Woke by Hilary Jordan, and this is a sci-fi horror dystopian book, and this one I really enjoyed, and it was a book that I picked up without knowing anything about it, but it's a book that it's similar in a way to perhaps The Handmaid's Tale. It is a book about stigmatized women in America and how society now has decided that when you commit a crime, in order for people to know what you have done, they are going to basically give you an injection that is going to change the color of your skin. So depending on what you've done, you're gonna get one color or the other. And our main character has been accused of murder. We still don't know if she committed the murder or not, but she has been given an injection that has turned her skin red. So this is a very provocative tale of a possible dystopian society in which women are going to be marked, you know, it's almost also like the Scarlet Letter. And so we have this woman that is currently on the run, but obviously everybody can see in her face that she has been charged with murder because of the color of her skin. The book also touches on religion and faith and other themes like that, and I found this book to be really compelling and interesting. So if you're looking for something like this, I do recommend it to you guys. I haven't really seen many people talking about it. These Barbies are evil. We have Mean Barbies, and this is another kind of series of books, but this time is YA, and I think it fits really well Barbie, also based on the covers, and that is The Merciless by Daniel Vega, and this is YA paranormal horror. I'm pretty sure that you guys are already familiar with this series. Sophia has befriended some of the most popular girls at school, so she feels really confident that, you know, she's gonna have a good time at school. But then these girls decide that one of their friends seems to be possessed and they have to perform an exorcism. Sophia's new friends believe that a girl called Brooklyn is possessed by a demon, so she has to be exorcised, and they decide to do it themselves. But things escalate quite quickly and things take a really dark turn. So Sophia is a little bit conflicted. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't believe in what these girls are doing, but she thinks if she goes against them, then she's gonna be the one that's gonna be next. So this is a fun YA series if you have not checked it out yet. This Barbie is cursed. Legacy Barbie. And for this I have chosen a book about family legacies and things that are being passed from generation to generation. We have here The Roanoke Girls by Amy Engel, and this is a mystery thriller that I really enjoyed, and it's of course based on the theme of the Roanoke Girls. So if that is something that you're interested in and you have not picked up this book, I do recommend it, but do check the trigger warnings for this because they can be a little bit intense. One of my favorite things about this book was the characters and the family relationships. We follow Lane. She is a teenager and she decides to return one summer to her grandmother's house, and she does it because her cousin is missing and she really wants to find her. However, there is a family legacy, and that is that the majority or all the Roanoke girls either go missing or die, and that is kind of the dark mystery that we have to solve here. Together with Lane, she's gonna investigate her family and we're gonna discover all the dark secrets. This is a kind of slow-paced book, especially at the beginning, but if you are interested in the characters and the story of the Roanoke Girls, I think that you will really enjoy it. This Barbie is lost. We have Detective Barbie because we have another book about characters that go missing. We have The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, and this is a horror mystery thriller. It is very atmospheric and perfect for the winter. This is a pure ghost story that is told from the perspective of 3 different women, and we have here a story about loss and grief. Some of the girls go missing, some other ones are dead, and we're trying to figure out what happens to these women and how are their stories intertwined. It also presents us with the question of how far would you willing to go? How much would you be willing to give up if you could see your loved ones again? This is a very intimate story about women, what connects them and what makes them disappear, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. It's perfect, like I said, for winter season, and it's another book about generations and women, so of course I had to mention this one as well. This Barbie is a queen. We have here Popular Barbie, and for this I decided to recommend you guys a horror novella that I'm sure you've heard me talking about before, but that is Scream Queen by Stephanie Sparks. And that is because this one is also based about women and things that tend to happen to women in this town. We are in a small town and we follow Becca. She is a student there and she's dating one of the popular guys at school, and the town is getting ready for the Harvest Festival. It's the first time they're gonna have the festival in 17 years, so they're all very excited, and Becca is nominated and chosen to be the next queen for the festival. However, she starts to get a little bit suspicious about the festival because as she investigates together with a friend, she realizes that the women that have been previous queens for the festival have all gone missing or are all deceased. So what is wrong with this town and what is going on with this festival? If Barbie was a witch, magical Barbie, and I wanted to have a book here that was not so intense with the horror but had also a lot of romance in it, because obviously in Barbie world there's also a lot of relationships between Barbies and Kens. So we have here These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling, and this is a fantasy with witches and queer witches, so I thought this one would be perfect as well, something that Barbie would definitely read. Hannah is an elemental witch, but she is still kind of getting used to her powers and still learning a lot, but then suddenly something happens in the town. People start getting hurt, and Hannah has a feeling that it might be a really powerful witch that is coming for revenge for some reason. This book presents not only witches and family and love relationships, but we also have a mystery that needs to be solved. So it has a lot of interesting elements to the story. And if you love witch stories that feel very realistic, you know, grounded a little bit in reality, this one is also another book that I could recommend you. And last but definitely not least, we have This Barbie is Ready for a Sleepover. We have Skipper Barbie because we are targeting now the younger generations. We are talking about middle grade horror. And I wanted to mention here another series that you could binge, and I think this series is perfect for younger girls that love Barbie and sleepover with girlfriends, which is something that Barbie likes to do every night in Barbie world. And I'm talking about the middle grade series, You're Invited to a Creep Over, and it's a series by P.J. Knight, and a series that I have been collecting and I finally have completed. In each of the stories, we follow girls that are meeting for a sleepover with friends or other girls, and it all feels very much like Barbie in that regard. But then, of course, there's something either supernatural or horrific that happens and mysteries that need to be solved. These are short stories and they are perfect for just one night binge. Also perfect for Halloween season. So this is another book that I would say that Barbie would enjoy if she loved horror. So you guys, these were my 10 recommendations for books that I would recommend to Barbie if she wanted some horror recommendations. These are all books that in one way or another involve women, women's legacies, women relationships, women's situation in in the world and in their societies, their communities. And so I hope that you enjoyed these recommendations. Let me know down below which other horror books would you recommend Barbie to read. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!